Hello everybody, watch this review here with a look at the G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra Paris Pursuit Snake Eyes. It's the version of Snake Eyes with a hood and a dog. Or Timberwolf or whatever. Maybe just a dog, I don't know. I think it's supposed to be Timberwolf in the normal thing, but... Ah yes, it's Pet Wolf Timber. Because he's a Timberwolf, I think. But yeah, pretty neat figure. Picked it up partly for the whole look of it, partly because it comes with yet another dog character, and can't have too many of those. Hold on a second, I'll get this out of pack. Oh wow, you know what? Let me start with an apology. Apparently, he doesn't really come with the hood so much. Now, I know on the package you see this hood lowered over his head and everything, rather ominously, but the figure, in fact, is basically just in the trench coat with the hood portion draped back. So, right off the bat, this figure is going to lose 5 points. By the way, I've started evaluating figures on a point system. Every figure starts with 1,000 points, and it works its way downwards. Now, of course, this is a practice that I started for this review, and you know what, I probably will continue for at least until the end of this review. Then you'll never hear about it ever again. So yeah, other than that, starting complaint, so far it looks like a pretty decent figure. Good implementation of trench coat and everything here. And it in fact is removable, but let's start by looking at the accessories. Though we've already started by looking at the figure. First up, we have Timber the Wolf, or the Timberwolf. Very nice looking figure. It's just one solid piece, no articulation. Looks like it would go great in a Dracula display or any other generic horror. Because it definitely has a really cool paint job, nice vibe, really nice head sculpt and everything. One complaint, he's just not as cute as some of the other Timberwolves available. If you remember the G.I. Joe Combat Heroes line, which I actually reviewed a figure from, this is the Timberwolf from there, and this is the Timberwolf here. Now, which one would you rather have with you? This big, vicious-looking one, or the one who carries your knife loyally? You know, if you ever drop your knife or lose it, or maybe it's Sunday morning and you want your dog to go out and fetch your knife, this one will get it for you. This one might bite you. But yeah, definite props on this. Really cool looking one. Let's move on to the handgun here. Just a solid painted thing. Or solid plastic, no paint. Really could use some silver there. Now the knife, given the fact that survival knives often have just a whole black wash over the top of it, so they don't reflect light, that is understandable. And then we have this rifle, which is elastic to his arm so he doesn't lose it. So, if I ever want to make sure I don't want to lose a gun, I definitely would attach it with a rubber band to my arm. That way, recoil or anything, don't lose the gun. Yeah, probably a terrible idea. Now, he does come with one other accessory, and that would be the sword and sheath. Or at least, it looks like a sword and sheath. In fact, is one solid piece with metallic sword coming out of this really wicked-looking sheath. This is probably like the biggest tease ever, because we have this really cool pose and everything, and it looks like we have a functional sword, but we in fact don't. So it's losing a whopping 50 points for this. Yeah, I know it's strict, but you know what? I'm really annoyed. You know what? Let's jump up to 100 points for this thing being in there. And let's switch the point system to, 2,000 points for the review. So now he's down to whatever this and that other thing was. But as for the figure itself, very solid looking sculpt. I can't remember if I picked up any other Snake Eyes to the line, but this one looked the most appealing to me. You'll notice seams on the head and everything. He has this visor which goes up to reveal the fact he has no eyes! What the hell is this thing? You know, crazy, creepy stuff. The whole mask in the movie and everything, well, not mask or helmet or whatever the hell he was wearing, was really freaky. At first glance, I thought he was supposed to be like an android or something before the backstory revealed the fact that he was, in fact, a little white boy who learned the ninja arts. But, I mean, other than that, you know, pretty solid all around. If you take off the jacket, which you really can't, I mean, you could, but it'd just be a pain to get back on. You will notice that it has a fair amount of sculpting underneath, which means that it was probably recycled molds from something else. But because of this, we do get some additional movement. But you'll never get much back ab torso movement. Notice that there's a fair amount of sculpting. Not much paint work at all. I mean, not that a lot of G.I. Joes do have paint depth and all that, but yeah, it's just all solid tones. Looks like solid plastics and stuff for the most part. Except for little pieces where they did add a little color. Nice texturing of the jacket. The one problem, if you did take off the trench coat, you'll notice the arms are molded to look like trench coat, so naturally it's going to look really, really funky. Well, I guess with the material for the inner part there, kind of glosses over the fact that it's all basically the same material. I mean, same color. It's like a deep brown, and it's black for the actual inner portion, so I don't know. It's all a matter of preference, but in terms of articulation, we have a rotating wrist. No up or down, but you will notice that's a softer plastic, as many of them are, to better accommodate weapons. Ball and socket elbow. Ball jointed shoulder, full range of motion. Nothing impedes it because the trench coat's set pretty far off. Head is on a ball, but not a whole lot of motion. Get some side to side, of course, but just no up and down. We have the upper torso joint, which allows, you know, kind of 360 range of motion. In addition to a bit of forward, just no back, no waist joint. Ball jointed legs. Really impeded motion because of the jacket. Double pin jointed knees, which look crazy funky. Losing 10 points for that. Yeah, I'm a stickler for knees that don't look like crap. I mean, it just looks like it goes kind of too far down. I don't know, just like a really uneven split. And then down here at the boot / ankle, we have another ball and socket. I mean, all in all, you know, pretty solid figure. One problem is the fact that you might have difficulty getting the weapons to stay, or getting them to pose right, but, you know, I guess it's basically comparable to anything else in the line. And of course, I forgot to mention he comes with a stand, but everybody comes with a stand / dog tag, so it's not like it's that big of a deal. And it has a decal underneath in case you forgot. But yeah, this has been a look at the Paris Pursuit Snake Eyes. I mean, I'm sure there are a dozen of versions of this character out there for the Rise of Cobra line. Is this the best one? I don't know. I mean, Snake Eyes from the movie, didn't really care too much about him, especially because I don't think he even said like a word of dialogue throughout the whole thing. He just stood there in the background, looked cool, and occasionally swung a sword and squared off against a ninja the enemy has, because, you know, if you have a ninja, you need an enemy ninja too. But yeah, I know both these characters are from the original cartoon, and I mean, still, it doesn't diminish the somewhat silliness of it. But yeah, this has been a look at Snake Eyes from, well, the Paris Pursuit Snake Eyes. Until next time, folks.